Oh my God, this damn cat will be the death of me. Oh, we live, bitch. Oh, sorry. Hi. What's going on, everybody? It's your boy, Kris Avalon, and welcome to a brand new episode of On the Line. I'm going to jump on real quick and talk about the latest in pop culture and what's trending online and all the stuff you may have missed that the mainstream is probably not talking about. So we're going to get to talking to some topics in regards of Jose Xtravanza did an interview with Billy Porter. We're also going to talk about Demi Lovato believing that gender reveal parties are transphobic. And last but certainly not least, Lil Nas X got Tekashi snitch Nas gay ass all the way together because he tried to come for a gay man, and a gay man had to drag that rainbow bright looking bitch through the streets on social media. So we have that and a whole lot more to get to. But first, let's get right into our first topic, which is Jose Xtravanza, who you know is from the House of Xtravanza, and he performed with tour. You know, he was a part of the Vogue video. He was in the Justify My Love video. You know, he, as I stated, he performed with Madonna back in the 90s. And, you know, he basically did an interview with the one and only Billy Porter from Pose. And he basically talked about his upbringing and his humble beginnings when, you know, he had to get permission from his mother to perform with Madonna, and how he went to the LaGuardia Performing Arts High School. And, you know, he basically just opened up a lot about that. But one of the things that I found relatively interesting was that he talked about what had transpired with that and how working with her was the best thing to happen in his life. Because a lot of times what irritates me whenever I talk about Madonna, and I'm not necessarily one of those stands where you could just say something and I'm going to just rip you apart. Like, I'm not like how the Beehives or the Barbs or all these other people are when they talk something about a celebrity. I'm like, I'll listen to what you gotta say and I'm gonna debate you on it, but I'm not gonna call you a name and say you should die and hang or kill yourself. I'm not gonna say all that stupidness, because I'm like, at the end of the day, you don't know these celebrities. But one of the things I loved is that he debunked the idea that people have in their head that Madonna is a cultural appropriator and she took voguing from the gay community. So Porter asked him, he says, well, you know, performing with her and stuff, he says, well, that was a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity. And Jose says, Madonna gave me so much. People always say she took from our community. You know how the kids are. I'm like, I'm from the community. So if anything, she took one of your own and gave them the opportunity to show their art. I'm sorry, but if it weren't for her, voguing wouldn't be so known so widely. And Porter's wound up saying that was the way it was. We needed the allyship of a star like Madonna at that time to give it access. And Xtravanza responded by saying yes, and she was the only one. Nobody wanted to hire the queens. Nobody with her kind of platform wanted to talk about AIDS. Nobody wanted to give us a face, and she did. I will forever be grateful. And Porter says it's a complex conversation. If that had happened today, it would be a different conversation, right? It's allyship that placed us in a position all these years later where, yes, we are now the architects of our own stories. I think she has to be credited for being a part of that. And Xtravanza went on to say, exactly. So, you know, and I should also point out that, you know, Jose and Louis Xtravanza were nominated for Best Choreography at the MTV Video Music Awards for Vogue. So he basically talks about all of that. And she basically said to him, she was like, he said, it meant so much, but it was almost too much. Of course, Madonna had already told us, you guys are probably not going to get it. Two queens from the Lower East Side, they're not ready for that. And it seems like these days, a lot of times, they're not ready for a lot of times when it comes to stuff. I remember when I was, and I forgot to bring this up in my previous video, there was a conversation, are people ready for a show like the T.S. Madison Experience? Are they ready for a show like Pose? Are they ready for these things? And it's like, we don't have time to sit around and wait for you motherfuckers to get ready for us. Sometimes we got to set the stage and the tone and be like, you know what? We're going to come in. We're going to do what we do. You like it? Great. You don't? Great. But at the end, at least you tried and you put your foot forward, and and you made things happen. And I love the fact that, you know what, in the 90s, people don't realize how different it was in those days. Like growing up and not having a lot of gay representation at all. And so when you saw little things, like when you saw Madonna on TV and she had the sex book and she had Truth or Dare, and these were this was a time when I was very young and I wasn't of age, but you would sneak and you would watch these things and you would be like, oh my God, there are people like me out there that kind of exist. And there's a world like Ballroom that I've never experienced before, and voguing, because I wasn't old enough to get in the club. At the time, I was relatively young when that came out. Like I was literally in school. I didn't know anything about being gay, but you knew those feelings were there, and you didn't know what it was. You couldn't put a label on it, but you saw that there was these people that existed in this world. The children today, in so many ways, don't realize how good they have it. Where you could sit around and say, I'm non-binary, I'm this, I'm that, I'm a tree, I'm this, I'm that, I'm the third. You could walk freely in your patent leather pumps. You could walk around dressing all kinds of ways that you want and do what you want and not have people judge you in that way without the fear of getting ridiculed or beaten up or sometimes murdered. In certain countries, they have that. And luckily in our country, although you do have things that you have to deal with, and you have stresses and worries, and there are people out here who are homophobic and discriminate against you for being LGBT, it's not as bad as it was back in the day. So kudos for this interview. Kudos to Jose Xtravanza for sitting down with Billy Porter. And I think it's an amazing article that you definitely need to check it out. It's available online. Just go and look up Instinct Magazine. Interview Magazine. That's the Instinct. That's the gay magazine. Interview Magazine with Jose Xtravanza, and they basically just open up about ballroom culture, where it was back in the day and where it is today. So like I said, we've come full circle where you had, and I think we still have a long way to go. You have the ballroom culture of back in the day and how it was and how different it was, and queer representation, how it was in the 90s, where it's pretty much non-existent. And people need to realize this, that Madonna was pushing boundaries when a lot of people were afraid to do so, and she suffered for it, both financially and a lot of times in her career. But she kept pushing forward, and the gays at the end of the day supported her and kept her where she is. They've always been the ones who have kept her around. And she has her hardcore hetero fans, but they're not as big as the gay community. And she was out here supporting us when you look at the Lady Gagas and the Rihannas and all these other people, y'all jumping on it because it's chic now. It's cool. Like, it's cool to like us and embrace the community whenever y'all got a new album to come out. I'm not saying them specifically, but there's certain artists, when y'all got a new album to come out, y'all want to come to the gays and want to come to the gay club and this, that, and the other. But there are those who with like a Madonna and like a Janet, who have been going to the gay clubs and supporting us. I know I see that Kickstarter thing that's up. We'll, I guess, talk about that coming up soon. There is something I want to promote that I think is of importance. But yeah, shout out to Jose and that amazing interview. Now, the next topic I want to get to is Demi Lovato is out here saying that gender reveal parties are transphobic. So the 28-year-old pop star shared a lengthy Instagram post, originally shared by trans rights activist Alok Viad Menon on Thursday, in an effort to shed light on a belief system that presumes non-trans people to be more natural than trans people. The explainer states that it is both insincere and incorrect to pretend that gender reveal parties are not transphobic. This is not about political correctness. It's just correct. The post adds, we condemn gender reveals not because of our identity, but because of reality. Gender reveals are based on the illusion that genitals equal gender and that there are only two options, boy or girl. The post continued. Lovato, okay, so now it says this definition erases the fact that there are boys with vaginas and girls with penises, and that there are people who are neither boys nor girls. The idea that sex is based on genitalia is inconsistent with science. Okay, child, we're fucking lax. Come on now. Now, y'all want to come on here and say I'm trans or whatever, you could suck 1,000 dicks from some dirty ass homeless people up in Skid Row, because that ain't part of me at all. However, we need to talk. So, a gender reveal party, basically, first of all, I think gender reveal parties are stupid to begin with. I don't need to have a party and pop a goddamn balloon and have blue or pink coming out. One of the perfect examples I like, okay, before I jump to that gun, I just want to say this. Parents usually just want to have this thing where they want to reveal children, the sex of their child. If you want to have a gender reveal party, that's great. Now, if you happen to have a child that happens to come out trans later on as they get older, then there's a conversation that I'll have with my child where I will support them like I'm, Dwayne Wade or Gabrielle Union. Then we'll sit and talk about that. But at first, if I, as an adult, and my wife is pregnant, or my surrogate, because I ain't fucking no woman, she getting artificially inseminated. Now, if me and a male partner decide in the future to have a child, and the child, or let me put myself in the shoes of a heterosexual. If me and my wife she's pregnant, we're having a baby shower, gender reveal party, that sort of situation. Pop the balloon, comes out a boy, pop a balloon, turns out to be a girl. Whatever happens there, that's the reveal party. Everybody have a great time, get fucked up, whatever the case is. Now, down the road, like I stated, if my child comes to me at 7, 8, 9, whatever age, and tells me, I think I'm born in the wrong body, I think I'm trans, we'll celebrate that. We'll talk. I'm not going to discriminate against my child because I'm more educated and I'm aware. So to sit and say that it's all about genitalia, it is at first. When you come out of a body, when the doctor looks at you in between your legs, you're a boy if you got a penis. You're a girl if you have a vagina. Later on down the road, when you're old enough, like I stated, and you say that, I think I'm trans, we'll get to that bridge when we get there. But so when y'all sit over here trying to put developed mindsets into an infant that's not even put on this planet yet, y'all need to relax with that shit. Because y'all starting to get on my fucking nerves, these new generation LGBT people that all of a sudden want to come in and start coming up with new shit, want to all of a sudden act like they're goddamn scientists. You are not Dr. Fauci, you are not none of these motherfucking people. So let parents do what they do. And then when they have the kid and the kid comes out to be trans, then they'll cross that bridge and deal with whatever the situation is there. But so for people coming out saying all kinds of stuff, this is trans, come on, relax. Y'all getting ridiculous with your new terms and you knew this and you knew that. You sound stupid. Now I don't want to go and be all angry and crazy and like damn near like go off. But it's just ridiculous how y'all try to put the cart before the horse. Let parents do what they do. Like I said, if the child comes out to be transgender later on, then they can deal with that and we'll cross that bridge when we get there. One of the perfect examples is that they have, I don't know if you've ever seen this show, but there's this influencer, Bretman. He has a YouTube show, an MTV show on YouTube. And his best friend is like, I'm not trans, but I like dressing in women's clothes. I like to wear wigs. I like to, dress up and all this other stuff. But I'm not a trans person. And they had a little gender reveal. They had a little reveal party, and he pops a balloon and rainbows start coming out. To me, it's like, let people just be who they are. And stop trying to put a stamp or a label and say it's this is phobic, or this is wrong, or this is that. Parents are going to have stupid reveal parties regardless whether you believe it or not. And parents are going to equate what is going on with a child when it first comes out. Like I said, the doctor is looking at you and saying, if you've got a penis, you're a boy. If you've got a vagina, you're a girl. So then when the situation happens down the road, like I said, now I feel like I'm repeating myself. But just to put it out there, now when the child says that I feel like I'm born in the wrong body, we'll take them to the therapist. They'll have their conversations. I will support the child. And then they'll come to the decision what they need to come to down the road if it comes out that they are trans. So celebrate it. So you know what? Have a reveal party that my child is trans, pop the balloon, and have rainbows come out. That's all. So moving right along, let's talk about Lil Nas X. So I don't know. Let me know what you guys think. Throw it up in the comments. I want to hear what you all have to say. For those of you that are watching, and leave me your thoughts on this whole situation. I think it's a complex issue. I don't think it's a black and white issue. I just feel it's ridiculous that people are trying to put a label and a stamp on things when it's just like, you know what? Let people live. Let people come to the decision they go to. Now, if you want to come out and talk about, like, I had to get a bitch all the way together that came for Zaya Wade because she's like, oh, he's a boy. And then, like, a bitch, first of all, you gonna stop using male pronouns when you look like a goddamn man in a wig your motherfucking self. So you're not gonna come up in here when you looking like Gary Coleman in a synthetic wig trying to drag somebody's child because they're coming to terms with their transgenderness. Because Michelle Obama was talking about that she, you know, that people need to be as brave as Zaya is. You're sitting there equating genitalia. Now that's a whole nother conversation that should go beyond this situation. So shout out to the trans community. Shout out to all the children that are coming to terms with their transgender identity. I live for y'all and I support y'all. But this whole thing with Demi and Jennifer, girl, focus on your sobriety and less on what you know, and making sure you don't have about 3 strokes and 5 heart attacks and worry about that and not worry about what is deemed transphobic or not. So moving right along, let's talk about Lil Nas X. Speaking of trolls, well, I'm not calling her a troll, but this other one is a troll. So Rainbow Bright, aka Tekashi Snitch 9, decided to try to come for Lil Nas X because he ain't got nothing else better to do but troll people. Because, you know, at the end of the day, this closeted queen likes to hide behind the security guards and people at within the FBI because, you know, they're trying to kill him. So he ain't got nothing to do but go on Instagram and social media and troll people. But, you know, his 4'11" ass can hide behind security because he knows nobody can touch him. But what you really need to be doing is focusing on making sure that you pay your security intel, which I heard he is about 40 grand in debt. He hasn't paid them on that. He's got some lawyers that he's supposed to be paying, talking about he not paying it. And you try to pull it the brat by smacking somebody upside the head with a goddamn champagne bottle. So what he needs to be doing is focusing on trying to keep his little skinny Mexican ass out of jail and focus less on what Lil Nas X or other people is doing. So in case y'all been living under a rock, let me fill y'all in on what's going on. So, you know, Lil Nas X was minding his business like he always does when Miss Snitch 9 decided to go and there was a thing that was posted where they basically about, you know, China making COVID-19 anal swabs mandatory with foreigners, and Takashi wrote Lil Nas X into the chat. So after that, Lil Nazi had to get his ass all the way together by posting an Instagram DM where Tekashi said, "Gonna be in your city soon. What you doing? LOL." And put an upside down smiley face with heart emojis, which made it seem like, oh, so you trying to slide up in my DMs because you want to smash, which is what a lot of these closet cases like to do when it comes to you know, y'all be hating on us in our community and want to throw shade and call this one the F word and this one a sissy and this and a lady boy and all this other stuff, but y'all be the same ones that gotta put a mask on in a goddamn OnlyFans video so y'all can get y'all knob slob by a Lil Nas X type, quiet as his cat. So Nas went and posted this video online and was in the background dancing. And I was laughing at the whole situation. And you can see the picture. He says, "Call me by your name." But then, of course, Snitch and I had to go and say, boom, boom, stop playing with me. Stop playing with me. Posted up showing that, oh, there was no interaction between them. So I didn't post nothing. When, if you know social media, you can pretty much delete what you send someone, but on the other side, still receive your message, even though you deleted in the comments, and it showed that in there. So at the end of the day, what do I think on the whole situation? I think Snitch 9 met his match. I'm sure he got turned out in prison, like he was somebody bit. They had him, you know, putting Kool-Aid on them lips, making him, you know, having to wear lipstick. and was walking around looking like Pennywise the Clown in, a tube top and a short skirt. So Miss Thing was out here laying it low and spreading it wide, probably, for some protection. And now that she's out of jail, she want to pop shit like she's all about it. Girl, if you all about it, then what you need security for? So stop trolling people, mind your business, and when you mess with the gays always got a rebuttal. One of these days, these queens gonna learn. Like we saw Dave East trying to come for him, 50 Cent trying to come for him, and at the end of the day, Lil Nas X got to get these hoes together. And it's unfortunate, but yeah, it is what it is. So as I stated before, do I think that Snitch 9 might be a part of it? I'm sure he would be. He's a little, even though he looked like he ain't washed in 6 weeks, there's something kind of like, I want to pull him by his hair and fuck him with no condom. He kind of gives me that. Very much like he could take a long dick from the back. Just bend him over, arch the back, pull the hair, and just shove it up in there. No condom, no lube, just spit. That's what he gives me. And to look like he could take every bit of it. Like this thing will be up in there screaming in ecstasy. That's what he gives me. And I've seen many boys that's like him out in these streets. So I believe it. And I believe he slid him in them DMs. But like I said, y'all bet y'all match when y'all mess with these gays. So anyway, last but certainly not least, I do want to point out a little something because we are wrapping it up. There's this GoFundMe that I came across. Well, it's a Kickstarter. If you want to go out and you want to support a coming of age Black queer cartoon, which is called Pretty, Pritty, and they pretty much set up a Kickstarter. It's an animated film. It's directed by poet and filmmaker Terrence Day. It was adapted from a novel of the same name by author Keith F. Miller, and it follows a young Black boy named Jay as he confronts his fears during the hot summer within the deep American South. So the synopsis reads, Savannah, Georgia, early 2000s. Backdrops this naturalistic coming-of-age story. The Deep South breeds his Black boy's heart. Oh, y'all talking about, you want to talk about breeding? Let's talk about breeding. Then there's Jay. He sticks out for all the wrong reasons. He's dark-skinned, quiet and skinny, and likes to wear flowers in his hair. Oh, so he's Keenan Lonsdale. Okay. The opposite of his masculine and charismatic older brother, Jacob. Their differences peak at their community pool, where swaggering manhood is on full display. Jay is reserved as he struggles to embody his brother's carefree confidence until he gets help from Justin, a charming, light-skinned boy from the hood. Their new friendship is tested, however, when an unspoken truth dares to surface. So they said it has yet to be completed, and the campaign ends on April 1st. So you definitely want to go up there. We're going to put the GoFundMe and everything up there. But I should say this because I popped it open. As of now, it's supposed to be 50 grand. Their whole goal is that, but so far they have 1,529 backers. They've got 25 days to go, and it just went up. It's $50,867. So they have already met their goal, and I like them to get a little bit more money so they can put a little bit more into this animation. And I feel like at the end of the day, let's support queer entertainment, whether it's, especially if it's of color. So we need to see more Black queer representation. I want to see Asian queer representation. I want to see Muslim queer representation. I want to see Latino queer representation. We need a voice. We need to be seen more in the eyes of the media. And like I said, with one door closed, another one opens. Like Pose is gone. So we need, and we got the QR code, or go to the link in the chat box. So if y'all want to, be a part of this. So yeah, representation matters. And you know what? If you putting your money into this, you get a producer's credit, and you get to see, something that financially you put in money-wise, you get to, be a part of it and say, you know what? I supported this. I financially gave my coins, and here's what it is. So I'm looking forward to seeing that it's done because they've already got over the money they asked for. If they get a little bit more, maybe they could add a little extra something to it. Who knows? But yeah, that's all I got at this point. That was a quick on the line because that's the whole point of this show. So once again, thank you all for watching this episode of On the Line. Be sure to click like, subscribe if you're watching on my YouTube channel so you get the latest updates on topics that I'll be jumping on the line for, among other shows that I have. Also, be sure to watch My other show, Wednesday Night Kiki, look it up, WNKIKI-TV. It is not on my YouTube channel. It's on a different YouTube channel. So click like and subscribe to that show so that way you can follow that one. That is a long show, and we'll be bringing up the latest celebrity news and gossip. We throw us some shade. We get the exclusives. We also do a lot of interviews. So if you haven't seen those episodes, definitely just follow that show, and you can see me over there. I also have another show coming in the spring. I have a little surprise on a t-shirt. I'll wear it, and I'll make the announcement soon. But it's with me, Lindsay, who today, shout out to my girl Lindsay, it is her birthday. So you know, I just want to wish her a happy birthday, Gert. My partner in crime is Lindsay. Hope you're having a great time wherever you are, because she is on vacation. Probably at home or at the bar, because you know they have indoor dining. So yeah, shout out to my girl Lindsay. Happy birthday, Gert. And thank you all for watching once again. So tune in next time. Get those alerts. You'll know when I'm doing another episode on the line. So later, darlings. My pageant wave. Yes, Lindsay. Yes. Where's my...
This is for faggots.
This is the article here. Jordy Jackson has been doing porn, and he said he stopped because this is something that's been going on, and it's a known fact, I guess, maybe not to you guys, but for people who are in the industry, Trimix has been used for a long time. It helps you maintain an erection. There's a lot of people that I know that do adult films, a lot of your faves on OnlyFans, and a lot of professional porn stars who use Trimix to stay erect, especially when in your real life, you're a big old power bottom, but you have to perpetrate a certain image on camera that you're a top. So in order to get, you know, your between me down there to be erect, a lot of guys tend to